Today I fucked up. I made fun of a guy who doesn't know how to do laundry. I started seeing this guy about 3 weeks ago. Let me be clear, we have known each other for a long time because he was a friend of my cousin. He asked me out a few weeks ago and I said yes. I have known him since I was 15. I also know his family too because our moms were colleagues. So, anyway, he came to my house 5 days ago to pick me up because we were having a picnic date. I was in the living room watching a kids show Phineas and Ferb. I really like this show. I have been watching the reruns since I was a kid. This cartoon had a huge impact on my life. I still watch it whenever my mood is off so that I can still cling to the innocent child inside me. I was laughing at a part. And he was standing next to me. He was a little confused judging by his expression. He asked me if my nephew was in the house. I told him no. Then he asked me who was watching cartoons since all of my family members are adults. I told him I was watching it. And I really like this cartoon. I then proceed to tell him that I still watch this particular cartoon because it was a part of my childhood and I have some good memories linked to it. He told me it is really embarrassing and ridiculous. I asked why. He told me that I am a 24-year-old woman. Why am I watching something kids watch and I need to grow up? It really bothered me. I don't think there is an age limit to watching cartoons. Since that day, he would make fun of me. Whenever we go to a restaurant, he would jokingly order from the kids' menu. He would talk to me in a baby voice as if I were a kid. Whenever I tell him to stop, he would say, "Aw, Lil Op got mad?" How cute, and sometimes even use phrases like a young lady. It was really frustrating. Today we went to a party, his friends were there too. I was meeting them for the first time. He introduced me and said to his friends that he needs to be locked up because he is technically dating a minor. He then tells them how I still watch cartoons and they all laughed. Some of them find it awkward. He also made fun of my height too. I am 5 feet 4 inches and he is 6 feet 1 inch. He proceeds to shuffle my hair like people do on kids. I got mad and told him it's funny how he makes fun of me being a kid, yet he still needs his mommy to do his laundry. His smile just wiped out of his face. I further said, well, at least this kid knows how to keep herself clean and know how to drive, unlike him who failed the driving test 2 times. The room went silent. Later when I got home, I got calls from my cousin that I overreacted and embarrassed him in front of his friends. And he was right to make fun of me because who the hell watches cartoons when they are adults? I told her I am not interested in entertaining boys who feel like they can make fun of anyone they want, but when someone does the same, they act like little babies. I guess that is it. Probably the shortest relationship I have been on. Today, I fucked up. About 3 years ago I got my son, 16 then, 19 now, all the components needed to build a computer. He'd gotten super into it and wanted to build one. My husband had gotten a big bonus and we wanted to splurge on our kids. He has high-functioning autism and he struggled with mental health. When he was about 16 I could tell he wasn't doing okay, and I would straight ask him and would always shy away, no matter how much I tried and what I did. I didn't think this computer would just fix his sadness, but I was hoping it would make him happy, and it did, a lot more than I, previously, thought. His old computer could barely run his favorite games, so around Christmas, I asked his brother to ask him some questions about what he wanted for a computer and we got it out of him nonchalantly. I later ordered the parts and Christmas rolled around. When he opened them he was less happy than I expected. It surprised me. I thought he would cry but he didn't. He was visibly happy but not as much as I expected. He later built his computer and played on it all the time. He still uses it all the time. That brings us to today. He was on break from college and brought his girlfriend over. We were talking and he brought up that computer. He was talking about how it changed him and made us exponentially happier than he had ever been. I was surprised by this statement. I brought up how he didn't seem as happy as he described, and he said something that made me almost cry. That computer was about the only reason I didn't kill myself. I knew he always struggled with mental health, but that really caught me off guard, and it also got his girlfriend too. She seemed like she'd never heard anything like this from him before. He said that and everyone at the house tensed up, it got really awkward and he realized what he did. We just ate and then watched TV until it was time for him to go back to his place. We said we loved each other and he went on his way. He did seem a bit frustrated at me, and his girlfriend was simply mad. That's the last I've heard of him since, and I'm not sure how to approach it. Today I fucked up by waiting too long to tell him that I love him. Me, 26 female, and my ex-boyfriend, 25 male, broke up 3 years ago. There was always a sense that we might get back together, maybe get married one day, and that we were just too young when we dated to be in that kind of long-term relationship. I've dated other people, even fallen in love again, and spent a good amount of time being single. Over the holidays, I realized how much I truly love my ex and that I want to be with him. That he's the person I want to share Christmases and New Year's and all of life with. About a year ago, he told me I was the love of his life and that he wanted to be with me, but I wasn't ready at the time. I didn't want to commit to him if I wasn't sure I really could. Yesterday, he came over to my apartment and I planned on telling him how I feel. But before I could get it out, he told me he was dating his roommate. Today I fucked up by getting in a fight in my dream. Last night, I, 31 female, was having a dream where my fiancé, 31 female, and I went to a music festival. Most of it was just normal dream stuff, but at one point this woman squared up with my fiancé. Now, my lady is a scraper, but I'm not going to leave her by herself, so I step in like, oh no you don't, you ain't fighting her, you're fighting us, and this girl cocked back like she was about to go. So I punched her right in the sternum and was getting ready to secure our exit when I hear a voice IRL. My fiancé's voice. What the heck, babe? Apparently, when I threw a punch in my dream I also threw a punch in real life. A weak asleep punch, but I caught her right in the face. She's fine. After giving me quite a look she rolled over and went right back to sleep, and